And here we come to the conclusion of the SimCity playthrough. You'll notice that we are dreadfully close to the magic number. I'm going to take a quick look over the area. I've kind of left this stadium up here, and not really that it serves much of a purpose, but I thought I'd test that, the value increasing theory a bit more, and I've come to the conclusion that if stadiums actually do increase the value at all, it's not anything worth the money and space they take up. I'm pretty sure, to be honest, that that's the first time I've actually gotten Megalopolis in this game. And legit as well, as I've used. Yeah, well, there's pollution warnings. That's actually probably the only big problem we have in this particular city of Delbog. Well, besides the corn infestation and goblins, which are not trolls. Yeah, see, as you see, it's definitely a big problem, but even though the number, percentage-wise, is, like, larger than everything else, you'll notice that, well, the public opinion is still positive in my favor, and the tax rate that we've got going on is set at a modestly low 4%, so it's not like we're sitting on any real big problems. Like I said, pollution, you're probably going to have that, and maybe if I laid things out a little bit better as far as the layout for all the different industrial areas like this on the sides. I thought that out a little bit better on beforehand, or played through a bit. I might have been able to optimize that a bit better, and not have any pollution overlap issues, but. And here's our final gift, the Mario statue. And the little test play that I did, I put it right here to see if it actually would boost any of this up to make it usable, well, valuable property, that is. And a lot of pollution warnings. It's kind of odd, sometimes I can sit here, or I was sitting here playing this earlier, and would get absolutely no pollution warnings, even though, pollution levels haven't actually changed or anything. It's very odd how it sometimes just goes, oh, well, we need to throw one out there for you, just to remind you that you still have pollution problems. But maybe they had a little bit of foresight and said, you know what, it's probably not a good idea to constantly remind the player that they indeed have pollution problems when they can't really do anything about it at this point. I'm just kind of keeping an eye on this area here to see if it spouts up any. I'll come back to it. So I did come through, and I did have a lot of landfills by the end of the playthrough. I think I put one like right here, and one right here, and here, and maybe here, next here. So, again, you kind of usually use them to optimize your tops. You kind of want to use them to put them in places where you're pretty sure you can get a top out of it, because the tops are usually the biggest of the population density and value buildings you can get. And it's usually putting the landfills on the edge. The landfill squares usually do fetch pretty much the highest value, but not quite here. Not every square, anyway. It's kind of an interesting, like, victory song, I guess. It's got some of the mix from the title music in there. Wonderful. Thank you, dogs. Glad for your valuable insight here. Doesn't look like it's really increased the value much any, but then again, maybe these areas are just in low demand, and it hasn't caught up yet. It does seem that as the game goes on, progresses a bit more, it seems that the simulation kind of takes a bit longer to refresh or change anything that's going on as far as the game's concerned. Alright, let's take one last look at some numbers. I did kind of cheese a little bit and put a bunch of rails down to get 200 so I could get the second rail station. Because that's again another booster. You can see it right here. I don't believe I had anything else too important. I did have nothing but a bunch of plane crashes until 1991. Hooray for me. Alright, so I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna try to reproduce that bug. I know I've mentioned it a couple times that there's a bug that kind of happens whenever you start up a new game or reload the game. Let's see if it actually happens again. Alright, so yeah, the numbers haven't loaded up yet, and there's no crime rate. I think pollution is none as well. Like sometimes when you load it up right, or when you load your game up like this, and you kind of notice we'll not have any values in the tax, funds or anything like that. Sometimes you can come up with, okay, doesn't yet. Like sometimes right out the gate, it'll give you some real crazy numbers. Like it'll say sometimes that your crime rate is the most ridiculous thing. Oh, okay. Well. Okay, pollution's, that's normal. Alright, I guess I didn't, maybe it hasn't shown up yet, but I guess I didn't get it at the time. I've had it to where, like, the crime like it showed the crime on the map, and it was actually like like that. So pollution is a little overblown, but yeah, this crime rate, that's a severe bug, and I think actually it'll probably come up saying, yeah, crime is the biggest problem. So yeah, that's, like I said, it's one of those things that happens sometimes when you load up a new game, and it takes a while, maybe a couple of months game time to run through that, and it'll eventually iron itself out. So let me draw this to a close, because my head's a little off at the moment. So let us call it a day. We will say goodbye to this version of Nilbog. Maybe we'll come back with another variety of Nilbog for the future. So until then, have a good one, folks.